Hey, what's up, buddy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody's morning going? Waiting for a few more people to join the live. My sandwich this morning. Deal. Gotta check my oil. What's up, Leah Liz? Good morning. Feel like I've been seeing you alive since forever. Probably since the toy drive, really. That's what it feels like. Oh, no. I did do that. What was it? The hat giveaway? Or no, maybe it wasn't the hat giveaway. It was a free merch giveaway with like the trivia, perhaps. Let's see. What's up, Jericho? Welcome to the live, brother. Welcome to the live. Yeah, Leah Liz has been working and hasn't been in the live yet. Thank you. Did you ever reach out to Nicole for yours? What's up, Robert? So I got a bacon, egg, and cheese from Dunkin'. What's up, Beth Phillips? Welcome to the live. What's up, Robert Benson? So yeah, I got a bacon, egg, and cheese on the English from Dunkin'. These are pretty good by my house. I miss, like, when I was younger, we used to have like the bodega. If you guys don't know what a bodega is, it's like your local corner store. Yeah, it's basically your local corner store, and they used to make some pretty good bacon, egg, and cheeses. Like the bacon grease be all soaked into the bread. Oh man. Welcome from Prince Edward. I almost said island. Oh yeah, it is island. Leah Liz lagging and freezing up. Oh no. Boop my butthole. My zodiac sign is a Cancer. Make sure you guys smash that like button. So yeah, we can do a live Q&A right now. Yep. Yep, we can do a live Q&A right now if you guys want. up ahead, all I could see are like lights going underneath the street. But again, there's no lights on anywhere where I was. And I was on the phone with my old boss, and it scared the hell out of me because I thought I was driving into an intersection that didn't have any lights and just let people figure it out. And I remember I was freaking the hell out because all these lights were just crossing, and I started slowing down. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? And I'm like, am I on a highway overpass right now? Because it was pitch black. Guys, I was freaking out like that. It was nuts. I was freaking out. And then one time, I think I might have to do like an untold stories version of this. But I remember one time I was on the phone with my old boss again. We were just chatting it up, you know. And it was this was a couple years ago, and this was before I owned my own company. And he was on the phone with me, and I'm driving down the back road, and it was probably, if I had to guess, it was probably about 6 o'clock at night. And by that time, around this time of the year, the sun is already set. And the GPS was like, hey, your turn is coming up on the left. So I made the left turn, started driving, and the road got narrow, guys. When I say narrow, it got crazy narrow. And I'm just weaving through trees and stuff like that. I make it all the way up the road, and then I'm looking like straight ahead, and there's a house. So the road that the GPS brought me on was someone's driveway in the middle of the woods. Someone's driveway in the middle of the woods. So I'm like, all right, well, if this is at least the address, let me get the material off the truck. You know, I'm already up the driveway, I guess. So I jump out the truck, and some ladies, she was a poor old lady, you know, and she comes to the door and she's shaking, like she's scared. It's like, lady, I'm not gonna kill you. Like, if I was gonna kill you, I wouldn't show up here with an 18-wheeler. Like, she was acting like I was gonna murder her. Yeah, no problem. So she goes, she says, like, go away. And I'm like, I just need to know, is this such and such address? And she's just like, she just wouldn't even answer me. And I'm like, lady, the quicker you tell me, the quicker I'll be out of here. I'm sorry I'm showing up at 6 o'clock at night and scared her half to death, you know? And eventually she comes outside. She was like, no, the house that you're looking for is further down this road. People make that mistake all the time. I'm like, thank you. Now, not once did I mention that this was a large driveway. So she actually had a cutout in the woods next to her power panel, and I had to keep stabbing the brakes for the brake lights to illuminate the trees behind me because I couldn't see. And that's part of the reason why I had floodlights installed on my old trailer, like on the headboard. So I had to alley dock into the woods, and my drive tires they didn't have the best grip on them. And I don't know why the comments keep disappearing, guys. Morning, Ashley. What is it, Grillin' M's? I don't know what that is. Do you ever get feedback from customers that were no, Steve, no one in this world today has they don't put the onus on themselves to take responsibility for being a crappy customer and then apologizing. Never. man, we're all human. It's all good. It's all good. But if I showed up here with an attitude, unless it's like, recently you guys have been seeing that, and when I show up, like there was a delivery customer to a lady. There was a delivery customer to a lady of some decking, and I forgot what the title of the video was, but it just came out like last week. And if you guys watch it, I kind of had an attitude with her after she requested that I put the decking on her retaining wall, and I'm like, how do you want me to do, like I had an attitude, but it's like the amount of, like, people don't understand that watching these videos, that I do this every day, that you guys are used to, that you guys don't see all the stuff that I deal with, because I didn't record every single delivery. It's only the videos that you guys see is because I think that it'd be an interesting delivery because of the material, and then I'll start recording before I get there, because a lot of people thought that this was a scripted show. So in order to prevent that, I would start recording before I got there to show you guys, like, hey, this is what I'm just dealing with, and I gave the lady a bit of an attitude, which, on camera it might seem kind of crazy, but it's like, if you guys understood the amount of, like, either silly or unorthodox requests that just do nothing but add more liability to the cause of delivery, you're just like, you want me to do what? No, okay, no thanks. I had a customer, and I wanted to do like a whole bit about like a whole video of just like untold stories. Let me see. What's up, number one fan? I am actually headed down to Southwest Connecticut. I have some personal stuff I have to handle. So you guys will probably see the story. What's up, Angel? Good morning. So I actually had normally I put ketchup on my English muffin, bacon, egg, and cheese from Dunkin'. But yeah, you guys will probably see this again, because it is such a crazy story. This story is actually two parts. Hey, let me fix the camera. So the story is actually two parts. So I actually had a delivery to a guy. It was some plywood. Now, it was around this time of year, and I went to go deliver it to the customer's house. I tried giving a call ahead, he didn't answer. And so I found the house. It's on a dead-end road. The street was all covered in ice, so I could only drive so far with the truck, and then I had to use the Moffett to deliver it. And the customer only had one neighbor, which was right across the street. Check this out, right? So I show up to the house with the material. As I'm dropping it off, the customer's dad comes outside. He goes, hey man, I don't think that this is supposed to get delivered here. It's supposed to go to a different job site. But I have my own forklift, and I can just load it onto the back of my son's pickup truck when it gets here. It's not a big deal. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. I had him sign rare time, excuse me, I had him sign for it. I took a picture of the product with the dad in the photo. I said, all right, man, have a great day. This, that, the third. I leave. And then I'm probably like 10 minutes from the house. And the actual customer calls me. He goes, hey, the address that you dropped the material off at, it's not the right address, so I need you to go back, pick it up, and deliver it to the new address. I'm like, nope, sorry, man, you gotta call the store, schedule a pickup. And he was just like, but I'm telling you, you delivered it to the wrong address. So I looked at the paperwork. I said, is it, XYZ, 123 at XYZ Street? He goes, yeah, but that's not the right address. Like, that's the address that's on the paperwork, but that's not the address for where the product was supposed to go. And I was just like, haha, that's where he messed up, because that's not my problem. Guys, check this out. Smash the like button if you get this. Wait till I tell this part. If I wanted to send any one of you guys a postcard because I was out in the Grand Canyon and I don't get your address correct, you think the post office cares? You really think the post office cares that I put 123 Sesame Street when it's not supposed to be 123 Sesame Street? You think the post office cares? No. Like, if you sent it to the wrong address, that's not my problem. You gotta call the place you ordered it from and schedule a pickup. And he was really upset. Really upset. So he hung up with me, called the store, and I was just like, all right, cool. That's a problem for another day. I called the market manager. I called the ops manager. Let them both know what the situation was. Cover my grounds, cover my bases. A couple days goes by, and I was actually on the phone with one of the market managers, and he goes, hey, I got an escalation email. I'm like, oh yeah? So he was like, hey, I got an escalation email. I go, oh yeah? He goes, yeah, some lady at one of the stores is saying that you dropped off the product to the wrong address. I said, really? What was the name on the customer? He said the last name on the customer. I said, nope, that was the customer I was telling you about the other day. I said, let me guess. The material was plywood? And he goes, yeah, let me take a look. He goes, yep, it was plywood. So I was like, matter of fact, I just pulled up to that store's location right now, and they want to escalate the issue, but they don't want to talk to me about fixing the issue. That's so funny, right? I'm like, all right. I said, you may or may not get a phone call of them complaining that I went in there and spazzed out. And I was like, if you don't hear back from me in about 10 minutes, just know that crap hit the fan. So he started laughing, right? So I go inside. I don't want to say the lady's name, and I don't want to say what store. So I go inside, and we'll just call her Jay, okay? I said, hey Jay, what's going on? She's like, hey Mike, what's up? I was just like, so why are you escalating an order from the other day saying I dropped it off at the wrong address? She was like, well, you did. I was like, not according to the paperwork, I didn't. And she was just like, yeah, well, that was our mistake, and it needs to go to a different address. Okay, so how is that my problem? Reschedule it for a new address. And she was just like, yeah, but you weren't supposed to leave it unattended. I did. Did you even look at the notes? Did you even look at the photos? She was like, no. I said, so you just listen where she messed up. She goes, oh, no, I just went based off of what the customer told me. Mind you, I told you guys early in the story, customer's dad was there and signed off on it. I even took a picture of the material with the dad in the photo. I even told the dude, you know, you can stand in the photo if you want, but if you're going to stand in the photo, can you at least smile? And, you know, he was happy about it. He was cool about it. So so Jay says to me, oh, no, I didn't look at the notes. And no, I didn't look at the picture. I said, so maybe you should do that and take your driver's word for it over your customers, because you know customers be lying. So she was just like, all right, well, you know, it wasn't supposed to be left unattended. I just told you, customer's dad was there to sign off on it. It didn't say customer needed to sign for it. Customer's dad was there. He signed off on it. She says to me, I didn't know. I said, well, you would have known if you looked at the notes. Would have known if you looked at the notes. And I said, you know what? Even if the customer wasn't there, I would have still left it unattended. Ask me why. She was like, okay, why? I was like, because there's only two things that could have possibly happened to her. A, the material would have got wet from the crappy wrap job you guys did on it. You know, from the rain or the snow. Or B, a deer would have walked by and took a crap on it. Those are the only two things that would have happened. The only two things. I said, that kind of plywood, I doubt his neighbor that's across the street is going to need that plywood. Mind you, remember I said it was a dead-end road, but not really much of a turnaround because the whole road was covered in ice. So he only had one neighbor across the street. So, and I said, and if you want me to start bringing orders back to the store because a customer isn't there, I said, just let me know you want me to stop saving you. And she was just like, what does that mean? I said, that basically means that if you put on the paperwork cannot be left unattended. Let's say I show up to a job site, because this scenario happens all the time. I show up to a job site with shingles. I call the customer at like 11:30, let them know I'll be there in about a half an hour. That's new, right? Check this out. So, unbeknownst to me, I'm supposed to give them a half an hour call ahead, but unbeknownst to me, the customer and his crew of 8 people doing a roofing job go to lunch at noon. He doesn't call me back to an hour later after I did a delivery attempt. He goes, hey man, just got your message. We're here, so you can come anytime. And then I'm like, oh no, I already tried to drop it off. And the paperwork said I couldn't leave it unattended. And Jay at such and such store said that I couldn't leave it unattended, so I had to bring it back to the store. Now, customer's mad at me because he had a crew of 8 people waiting around all day for shingles, and Jay told me to bring them back to the store. I said, so go ahead, Jay, if you want me to start bringing it back to the store, I'll start bringing it back to the store. I said, but under one condition, I want your direct extension so that way they can call you to scream at you. I said, because I've had to bring back orders as stupid as a skid with a dozen bags of pebbles on it. Because the paperwork said I couldn't leave it unattended, I called the store if I could leave it. They said, no, we gotta just do what the paperwork says, bring it back. It's rocks. If anybody steals rocks from your driveway, they deserve them. That's it. That's it. End of discussion. So why am I gonna drive? You know, let's say those pebbles came from a store 40 miles away. Now I gotta drive 40 miles back and then drive another 40 40 miles to get to where I was going. Does that seem right? No. So I'll just leave it unattended. Especially if it's something stupid like that, you know? Like now, for instance, if it's a copper pipe or something like that, yeah, obviously. Expensive tile or something, you know. And then, you know, the location has a lot to do with everything. So, it's just crazy. So, remember I said this was a two-part story. It's actually a three-part story, but I'll just tell you the two-part. While I was at that store, I was like, all right, well, here to go get loaded. You know, if you guys want me to take this order, oh yeah. Jay, why didn't you call me? I said, yo, if I messed up, if it was me, I genuinely messed up the order, why wouldn't you call me? Oh, because I didn't have your number. Really? You know, that's so funny because you could have called dispatch, which is what she was supposed to do. You could have called dispatch, you could have called the market manager. I said, your store manager, who I'm extremely cool with, has my cell phone number. You didn't even exhaust all of your options before you went and tried to escalate it. Now who looks like the doofus? Not me, because I did my job. So you falsely tried to get me in trouble, and it backfired on you, and you think that there's any repercussions for that person? Nope. It just gets swept under the rug, right? No problem. So, I said, here, take down my phone number. I said, I don't care about anybody else's order. If it's something I genuinely messed up, you call me first. You don't report it. You don't escalate it. If you need something fixed and you need a favor, if I can accommodate, I will. Give me a call, give me a text, communicate. That's it, communicate. I said, I work for you guys. I look out for you guys. If you guys don't communicate, but just want to escalate, you're not giving me time to accommodate. That makes no sense at all. Like you're trying to, you know, get rid of me or try to get me in trouble for your mistake. That's not my problem. Not my problem, right? So I go out to the back, go to get loaded, and I pull up my first customer's address with what they loaded me with. No, Jay is in it to win it. She's there. She's still there. This sandwich is gross. Nope, I bet you she's still there. I mean, she's cool, but it's like a lesson learned. So check this out. The story gets even crazier. I go out back to get loaded. They load me with some 16-foot pressure-treated decking. And I think it was like the first batch. I don't think it was like all the product, but it was at least the first batch. I looked up the address. I pulled up the address on Google Maps just to kill some time. I'm looking at the driveway, and on the Google Maps street view, there's what looks, I think it was like a Chevy Suburban in the driveway. So it had two bushes, and there was a retaining wall that stretched out towards the left of the house. The driveway was a very narrow but straight driveway, and then the house actually had a sunroom on the right-hand side of it that actually protruded into the driveway. mind you, the Moffett is 8.5 to almost 9 feet wide. I got 16-foot material. It's going to come off like wings on an airplane. I'm looking at the notes. That's why I was looking at it. Because I was looking at the notes, and the note said to drop the material on the left side of the house. So I wanted to see what the house looked like. Okay. You know, I'm waiting for them to load my truck. I'm going to kill some time looking at it on the street view, whatever, right? No problem. So I'm looking at the street view. It looks like a Chevy Suburban or something in the driveway that takes up the entire width of the driveway. A Chevy Suburban is not even as wide as the Mafia. That's how I already knew I was in, you know, I was up Crap Creek without a paddle. But I'm looking at the notes in the system, and I'm on the paperwork, and it said leave material on the left side of the house. So I already know I can't drive across the lawn because that's going to leave ruts. And then I already know that the customer has a retaining wall that the Moffat's, you know, it's not a helicopter, it's a forklift. Like, what is wrong with you? So the same people I just got done spazzing out on inside, I take that piece of paper, I go inside, and I was like, hey Jay, who put this order in the system? So she was like, I don't know, look it up. So she looks it up, and there's a guy by, I'm not gonna say his name, what do I care, he doesn't even work there. There's a guy by the name of Teddy. She goes, Teddy put it in. I was like, oh, what's up, Ted? And he was like, oh, what's going on, Mike? What's going on? I'm like, so you put this order in? He goes, yeah. And I said, did you even look at the notes? He goes, yeah, I put them in. I said, okay, so tell me what do the notes say? He goes, orders to be left on the left side of the house. Ted, did you even look at the house before you put these notes in? Because the customer's going to expect me to do what the notes say, and it's curbside delivery. And he goes, no, I didn't. I said, all right, everyone gather around. Let this be like a teaching moment. So they looked at the house, and I literally heard from someone's mouth, what? Excuse my French for any kids watching. What the fuck, Ted? And then someone else goes, yeah, what the fuck? And Ted was like, I don't know, I just put in the notes, whatever the customer said. I said, that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, you guys are supposed to be pre-qualifying the customer. And before you guys put in these silly notes, these are the types of instructions that cause conflict between me, a third-party delivery service, and the customer. When it's not even me, it's you telling the customer, yes, we're gonna do it. And you're not the one that's out there doing it. So since you put it in the notes that it's gonna get done, or that this is where the customer wants it, I suggest you get out there and start lumping, Ted. The customer is going to be waiting. I said, are you going to carry the stuff up and over the wall? He goes, why can't you just leave it on top of the wall? I said, no, because it's a liability. If I go to pull my forks out and that retaining wall crumbles and falls apart, I'm responsible to pay for it. Unless you want to give me a blank check with your name on it, and then any damage I do to that wall, your check will go. You're like, well, now I'm not going to do that. So why should I? Why should I? That's not fair to me. And he was like, oh, what about going up the driveway and cutting across the lawn? Okay, give me a blank check, and whatever the customer charges back for property damage, it's coming out of your account. And he's like, oh, I can't do that. So why should I? Why should I? If you're not willing to put your money on the line for something that you promised the customer, I didn't promise the customer. It's a curbside delivery on my part. And I told the customer it was going to be a curbside delivery, and the customer was like, nope, leave it there, and I will pick it up myself. And the customer waited pretty much all afternoon for him to go to the store and pick it up himself. He had no clue. None. You guys want to hear the third part to that story, or should I save that for another video? Let me know. Chime in the comments. Alright, because Leah Liz wants to hear the third part of that story. Remember that plywood customer? It was probably another day or two. And it was probably like another day or two. They rescheduled that delivery. It was the only delivery that I had that day. Only delivery that I had that day. I picked it up from the store, went to go drive it to the new address that the customer said I delivered to the wrong address the first time, which we all know that wasn't true. I delivered it to the address specified on the paperwork. If we messed up, that's not my problem. I did my job. And so I dropped it off at, so I picked up that order, went to the customer's address, and it was a crazy, when I say crazy, it was like some hairpin turns. And I had my truck parked, and I'm trying to call the customer, and he's like, oh, I'll send someone down to meet you. That's never good. If I'm parked on the street, and he tells you that he's going to send someone down to meet you, he's not going to be good. You know it's not going to be good. So I'm like, I can't even leave my truck here for too long. It's in the middle of a blind curb. And I have an 18-wheeler. And I'm like, all right, well, let's go see what this job site looks like. And he sends someone down with a minivan, and I'm talking to him, and he was just like, why don't you jump in and I'll show you the road. And he was like, dude, we get tractor trailers and big camping trucks down here all the time. Mind you, we just, remember I said, there was all covered in ice. So I might even have a photo somewhere. I probably have to check my old phone or something. But he was just like, yeah, just jump in. I'll take you down there. There's plenty of, you don't have to leave your rig down here. You can bring it up. And we had freezing rain the night before. So we had snow a previous day that froze over to ice. And then we had freezing rain the night before. So all the tree branches were low hanging and covered in ice. And I'm going down this road, and I feel like I'm going off-roading in this guy's minivan. You guys know Alright, sorry about that. Lost connection for a quick sec. So, we're going down this, it's like a dirt and gravel road in the middle of the woods that has little creeks going through the road. Like, if the road's going this way, there's like little creeks and channels of water that are washing away parts of the road. And road in. Number two, all those tree branches with the ice is gonna scrape my truck. That's number two. And I was like, let's see these turnarounds you're talking about. All the turnarounds that they had were all covered in snow. And then on top of that, they wanted me to turn around on a basketball court. I'm like, no. Like, your basketball court cannot hold the weight of my rig. Are you serious right now? Like, yo, if I would have drove down here, I would have been so upset. I would have been so mad. And then I would have had it back all the way out. Which, that would have took me a while. So then, I ended up just walking back to my truck. That's how upset I was. And being on the phone with the market manager, I'm like, I don't want to be in the car with this customer who's just trying to set me up. Like, I'm good. Like, I'll walk from here. And then Jay chimes in, right? So I brought the order back to the store. I was like, Jay, there's no way I'm doing this. And she's just like, oh, I used to go to that summer retreat place all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah? I got switched off. I'm reconnecting or whatever. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if it's gonna refix itself. I hope it does. Yeah, so I bring the order back to the store, and Jay's like, you couldn't have done that delivery? I'm like, no, because there wasn't a safe place to leave the truck parked on the road. I could have brought it up with the Moffett, but at the risk of dropping the material because the road is so screwed up and there's so many ruts and stuff in the road, it would have taken me forever. I could have dropped the material because of all the ditches and all the cross streams in the road. You know, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but if the wheel dips in and it stops the machine, the product could come sliding off forward. It's happened to me before. And so she was like, that's crazy that you couldn't have drove your truck down. Like, I used to drive down there all the time to go to that summer camp retreat or whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you drive the 18-wheeler. She goes, I don't. I was like, okay, so what do you drive? She goes, well, something stupid like a camera or something. And I was like, exactly. So don't tell me that you can make it all the time in a civilian vehicle. You don't drive commercial. That's not what you do. Like, it's like the logic and like the nuisances of people. Like they don't get it. Like they're willing to risk it, but on someone else's dime. No thanks. I told her, and I told the market manager, if I drove down there, I would have been so upset. So upset. So I refused to do the delivery. So I brought the order back to the store. I still got paid. I'm like, there's no safe place for me to park the truck on the street. And, like, not even nearby, because it's all, like, just crazy line curves, hairpin turns. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, they're like, oh, why don't you back up this road? Because I'm not trying to scrape the paint on this damn Penske truck. That's why. You guys aren't paying food, snacks, and beverages for a full 14-hour day. Like, this is not a game. You're like, well, what time am I going to get home? The quicker you move, the quicker we get out. I know you are, Eric. Eric's down for anything. I'm like, yo, I want to open up a hot dog stand today. Eric's like, all right, I'll go get the buns and the condiments. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta get a vendor's license first, man. Dang, you know what? I should have brought. I should have brought my GoPro. I could have did a food review while I was down here. Dang it. Nah. It's all good. All good. Yeah, so what do you guys got planned for Valentine's Day? Anything good? Oh, and Leah Liz, I've been working on getting some new merch, but the guy, the shop that makes my shirts, he wants me to put in a minimum order of 24, like a 24-piece count, before he'll make because he has to, because it's a brand new design and stuff like that, you know, like the one or two pieces just wouldn't be worth it for him. So I have to put in an order for at least 24 shirts. So that's why new merch has not, you know, I got the hats, but that's not all I wanted to do. Like, I actually have an artist now that creates cool stuff, but it's like I have to spend close to I forgot how much I spent on the last order, but it was well over $500 to get a new order of shirts made, and we didn't even sell the old ones. So but yeah, so what do you guys got planned for Valentine's Day? Sorry, I had to open up my window. It's getting warm here. My hands I might have had like fake Thai food, like from the mall. I'd be down to try some Thai cuisine. Hot chocolate, hot, and but hot chocolate hearts. Have you guys ever tried those hot cocoa bombs? There's a I don't know if you would call it a bakery, but it's like an ice cream parlor, and they do like fudge and stuff too, and they make their own confections, and they actually make like hot cocoa bombs. It's like, I guess it's like a chocolate thing, like a chocolate bath bomb looking thing, but in a coffee. Or they might even sell it with the coffee mugs. I'm not sure. And I guess you just pour like hot milk or hot water over it. I don't know. Anybody that makes hot cocoa with milk with water, it's like, yeah, no thanks. send merch outside of US? I would have to double check on that. The problem is with that is like we cover the shipping, and like on our merch, we don't really make any money. It's just something for you guys. It's just something for you, like it's just memorabilia. Like I wouldn't even call it memorabilia. It's like it's something that, like we barely break even on it. We probably even lose money, which is crazy. But it's like, you know, I love to see you guys wearing it. So that's why we keep doing it. What's up, Frank? Later. Oh, you too busy on your cell phone? Oh, that's nice. Keyboard. Idiots. Yeah. Hold on. Hey, here you go, Snub. Snub, I'll be heading to my mom's house. I actually gotta go handle some business real quick, and then I'll be back through the neighborhood. Yeah, I was actually looking to get some other stuff printed. And I'm also trying to move so that way I can expand. Like pretty soon I'm gonna be looking for content creators and people in trying to create and do the merch in-house, so that way it costs less for us to do it. You know, I don't mind breaking even, but it's like the profit that I make from the shirts, if anyone who actually knows me knows, I just reinvest it. Come on, people. What are we doing? So, you know, it's all about just reinvesting back into the brand and stuff like that. And, you know, I'll be looking for some content creators, stuff like that to contribute. Thank you. Yeah, I got the snapback. Thank you, Leah Liz. Appreciate it. Yeah, I got some snapbacks made as well, which I really like mine. There's a so the one that I have with my like full company name, like across the top, it actually has a metallic green thread on it, which I was trying to get them done like this, but the metallic green, it like the thread is so frail. But I'm actually working behind the scenes with some other people to try to get some other stuff done. I was actually trying to look for like a holographic thread, which that would have been super sick. Like, oh my god, it would have been so dope. It would have been so dope. Oh man, yeah, it would have been so cool. Oh man, I cleaned out my car the other day and somehow it's still a mess. Ugh. Hey, did you guys watch that episode where we saved the stranded guy during the blizzard? Well, right after the blizzard. Was there two people? Eric, what does that mean? Was there two people? Like two people stuck? Oh, no. It was just one guy. But funny story, I thought I blew my transmission that night. That's why... I mean, I was recording pretty much the whole night because I was just seeing how everything was that night. But then when it was just, that's why I start recording before I do anything, because I can always edit it down and stuff. But it's like finding that guy. So that guy, he was actually stuck there before the blizzard. Well, he wasn't stuck there before the blizzard, but he actually fell asleep in his car the night before, and then the blizzard hit and he got stuck there. And I was gonna drive my Subaru through there, but the Subaru got stuck because I went in there with almost no momentum, like at all. I didn't even try to push, the Subaru. And that's another thing I want to start working on too, is getting the Subaru fixed and stuff like that. Maybe I'll start another YouTube channel or something, or maybe I'll feature it on this channel. I'm not sure yet, but eventually I want to get the rust and stuff like that fixed on this car and get the one by the railroad. Yep. So that actually took place downtown New London in Connecticut, and downtown New London, Connecticut. Down at the pier, because the train, for those people who don't know, London was actually a major whaling city, so they used to bring a bunch of whale meat and stuff like that into the port there, and it was just, so they've always had trains and the boats and stuff like that. In the U.S. military, they show up in the spring, so they dock their boats down there sometimes. So like the Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy, they bring like a warship or two. So it's actually really cool. But yeah, no, I just like stumbled upon that guy, and I stumbled upon that guy, and he said that he was trying to get people's attention pretty much all day. And once he flashed his lights at me, I knew something was up, because the only people that really flash their lights at me are like other Subarus. And him doing that was like, I saw it as a distress call, and it really was. So but yeah, he said he had been stuck there, and I tried to drive in there with no momentum. Almost got the Subaru stuck, and these tires, they have so much grip on them that when I went to go hit the gas, you guys saw it in the video, Subaru actually got stuck because like there was so much snow around the wheels, and I already had no momentum, that it was just crazy. Like, it legit got stuck. So, but I do appreciate you guys watching. I just pulled up my destination just now. I gotta go handle some business. we will talk later. I'll probably go live on the way home today, so I'll let you guys go for now. Well, I do love you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure y'all stay good, stay safe. Bye, Leah Liz. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, later.